Hi, so we're doing another reading vlog today because I've been in a bit of a reading slump. I have not read a single page for a week, which I know, is compared to some reading slumps not that bad, but like even before that it was kind of rough going, but I pushed myself through, and then I pushed myself to actually take a break because otherwise it was only going to get worse. I took a week off and I'm desperate to read again. So this is gonna be a reading vlog with me trying to get out of my reading slump. Also, excuse my hair, I literally just washed it, so it's soaking wet. I apologize. I also, this is irrelevant, but I got a new conditioner and now my hair just smells like I just came from like the hairdressers, which I love. So there we go. But this reading was just gonna be me mood reading. We'll see what we get up to. Probably a lot of romance. I'm also in a bit of a mystery thriller mood. Thank you, Criminal Minds. So that's probably most of what I'll be reading. I am thinking of starting with Nora Goes a Script by Annabelle Monaghan, just because I think this is going to be like a fun summary romance book, and it's also under 300 pages. This edition is 276, and typically when it comes to a reading slump for me, like reading books that I finish quickly is like the thing that gets the momentum ball rolling. So hopefully this will be that. But if you haven't heard about this book, which I've heard great things about it as well, so that's also why I really want to read it, by the way. But this one follows Nora, who is a rom-com script writer, and she recently got divorced and wrote a script based on her divorce, and now the movie just got filmed at her house, which seems a bit odd, but okay. And then, well, and right after filming is done, the guy who played her ex basically in the movie, like the male lead of the movie, asks if he could like stay with her. Again, I don't know why, because it says on the back that he will pay her $1,000, like $1,000 per day, to stay for a week. Which, I mean, if you have that much money, like, there should be no issues with getting a place to stay. But I digress. And yeah, she says yes because she needs some money and she also wants to help him out. So yeah, that's what this book is about, from what I get from the back and from what I know about it from other people. And yeah, I'm excited to read this. Hopefully I will actually be able to read it. We'll see how my brain functions, but that's what's going on at the moment. And then also from my library, like digitally, I got Annie Bot by Sierra Gear, which is a sci-fi novella that I've heard a lot of great things about, and I've been desperate to read this one, and it just came in from like my hold, so I probably also will be reading that soon. But that's also something that's up in the air right now, but we'll see how things end up. Hello, excuse me, looking like a mess, but I quite literally just woke up. So that's what we're dealing with. But I thought I'd give you an update from yesterday because I did some reading, not a lot, but it's progress. Like honestly, I read 50 pages of Nora Goes a Script by Annabelle Monaghan, and I read these 50 pages and I desperately wanted to switch over to watching my K-drama, which I included a little clip of. So I kind of felt bad about myself for doing that, but then I was like, hey, you read 50 pages more than all of last week today, so proud of that. This one so far, I don't really know how to feel about it, but like also not foreign at all. I don't know, the woman character is just not my favorite, but also not anyone I dislike, and then the male love interest is kind of an asshole, so I'm not looking forward to that. But overall, it's kind of giving me, I don't know why, it's giving me vibes of the Reese Witherspoon movie Home Again. I don't know why, because it's a very different movie, but it gives me that vibe a little bit. So we'll see if it plays out the same, even though I don't remember that much of the movie. And then I also, before falling asleep, read a bit of Annie Bot by Sierra Greer, and I had 80 pages into this one, which is just a chunk bit more because it is a novella, but still not a whole lot. I feel like I'm at a turning point within it. I'm gonna explain it's not the best, I think, because I feel like the plot of this one is more kind of like a concept rather than a plot, if that makes sense. But in this novella we follow Annie, who is like a sex robot. It's not entirely the right thing, but basically she's a sex robot hired, like bought by this guy named Doug, who is a piece of shit, and everyone keeps saying he's the best, and I don't know where they get it from. She's a sex robot, and she does have like not autonomy because she is still a robot, but like more free thinking, if that makes sense. Like there's two modes to these kind of robots in this book. Like one where generally just like obey what I tell you and do your function, because there's also like cleaning and like nanny robots and stuff like that. And then there is another mode to it that is more like be intuitive, and think for yourself a little bit, but then like also still your main purpose is to please me, if that makes sense. Anyway, so it's not like fully autonomous like human kind of thinking, it's a bit different. But this novella starts off when Dog gets a visit from his best friend, allegedly, because they seem horrible to each other. Anyway, I'm digressing. But this is like the first time that Annie has interacted with another human besides Dog, because Dog keeps her like very, very sheltered and doesn't want anyone to know that he has a sex robot, which is ironic, but okay. And like during this visit, stuff happens that I'm not necessarily going to go in depth to because it doesn't really matter. And Annie kind of like starts for the first time this obeying orders in a way, I guess, and that kind of snowballs throughout the rest of the novella, if that makes sense. Like I said, I don't want to go too in depth about it because it is more kind of, I think so far it's kind of like a concept story where like it's there to like portray kind of like Babel but of Quran, where it's there to like convey messages rather than necessarily like a plot book, if that makes sense. There's a lot of books like that, so but Babel is just the first one that comes out to me because I don't read books like that very often. But I am liking it so far. Like I said, I do think Doug is a piece of shit, and I know we are meant to find him a piece of shit. That's obvious, right? The part of like the narrative. But it's just so frustrating to see like a bunch of side characters be like, oh, he's the best. I want to shoot him on sight, but yeah. For the rest, I am quite liking it. I think it's doing some interesting things, and yeah, I am currently going to move on to reading No Aggressive Script again, just because I haven't been awake long. I need something lighter, and I'm also really excited to continue on with this. So yeah, but I'll update you more when I've read more. Hi, so I just had lunch, but I've been reading all morning and No Aggressive Script. I'm on page 150, so a little over the halfway mark, and I'm not really liking this book that much, but I do feel like it's the perfect thing to get me like out of a reading slump, because I am reading this relatively quickly and I don't know, I'm constantly willing to pick it back up, so there's that. Because even though, like I said, I'm not really liking it that much, my favorite aspect of this book is definitely Nora's relationship with her kids. I think that's just such a precious little relationship, and I love their moments together. And honestly, Leo, the love interest, does kind of fit into that really well, and I kind of like how that part of this book is executed. But when it comes to like the actual moments between them, I just feel like it's the definition of insta love. It is. It really is. Their relationship is just extremely underdeveloped, and to me it kind of feels more as a escapism relationship rather than like an actual long-lasting relationship. So that doesn't make me too excited. Also, something that's kind of like bothering me about this book is that we are constantly told that Nora is completely unbothered by her divorce. Like, she honestly was a huge relief the moment her husband told her he was leaving, but like he gets brought up constantly throughout this book. Like, I get that this is her first relationship since the divorce, her first time kind of doing things for herself since the divorce, so like it makes sense in a way that it does get brought up sometimes. I'm not saying there should be zero mention of her ex-husband or about her divorce at all, but it just, I feel like I know more about her ex-husband than I know about Leo, which is just not really the vibe I'm going with. So that's something that's also bothering me a little. But yeah, I'm excited to read this last a little chunk of this book. Actually, I think I might finish this today, which honestly comes as such a surprise to me because like I said, I haven't read anything for like a week. I haven't read a single page. That's so unlike me. Typically, I at least read a little bit. Even like my worst reading slumps, I will read at least like 5 pages a week because I forced myself to do so, and I very deliberately did not do that last week because I felt like I needed that break. But therefore, it feels odd to me that I'm now like immediately going into like reading mode. I thought it would take me much longer for that to be such like a flip of the switch, I guess. Hi, I just finished Nora Goes of Script by Anna Monaghan, and ended up giving it a 3-star, kind of like I predicted. The thing is just, I did not care for the romance. When it comes to the romance in this book, I thought it was very poorly executed. Like I said before, it's underdeveloped. I don't know the guy at all. And then also when I last with you, that's when the third act conflict happened. So we spent like the second half of the book with them apart and like barely any interactions between them, which I thought was such an odd writing choice, because through that it just kind of felt like we got almost no content of the actual couple. I don't know, it was an odd choice to be made for sure. But I have to say that I actually kind of preferred the second half over the first half. I just really love Nora's like personal journey throughout this book, and like I said, I love her relationship with her kids, and in the second half we also get to spend more time with her friends and her family, and I love those character dynamics, and it were just some beautiful moments in the second half of the book with everyone just kind of like rallying around her for like these big exciting moments in her life as well. And I don't know, I really love that aspect, and I kind of felt like some moments were a bit ruined by like the shadow of a man who barely matters, but that Nora was heartbroken about. So therefore I feel stupid. And then the resolution was just extremely quick. I don't know, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So yeah, it's a 3-star because I did enjoy everything surrounding the romance, but the romance was just extremely lackluster. Now I'm in a bit of a pickle because part of me kind of wants to keep this momentum going and read Anybot and finish that as well, but another part of me just wants to start another book. So I don't know what I am gonna end up doing. All I'm gonna tell you is that the next book I'll be picking up physically is Well That Was Unexpected by Jessica Sutanto, which is a YA contemporary novel, and I'm gonna read the back to you because it's a very short back. Charlotte and George's story starts how all good love stories do. They catfished by their own parents. Mortified by a modest matchmaking, Charlotte Citra agrees to one date with George Clooney Danuwicia, son of the most famous family in Indonesia. But when the media gets wind of it, things quickly spiral and the two families get swept up in a highly publicized romantic stunt where everyone has a role to play and a secret to keep. So yeah, I read the second book in this duology, like the companion novel to this, earlier in the year, and I liked that, but I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So yeah, I'm still excited to give this a read and see if I like it more. It's fake dating. That's right up my alley, so hopefully it will. Hi, it's Thursday. Got a lot to talk to you about. First off, on Tuesday evening, I ended up finishing Anybot, which I didn't talk to you about. I'm sorry, but this ended up being a 2-star for me. I feel like when I last talked to you about this book, I was a bit at a turning point and I was very excited to see where it went, but then it didn't go in the direction I expected to, and it kind of like dragged out and became a bit boring, if I'm gonna say. And honestly, I was a bit confused about what this was trying to do, because I felt like it had a very clear idea of what it wanted to like discuss, and it didn't go in the direction. But then the very end just like switches upon that, and it does go with that, but it's so abrupt that it doesn't feel like natural, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like the natural progression of the story. It just feels like the author going, oh shit, yeah, and just changing things up. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I give it 2 stars. I know this is a very beloved one, so I feel a bit disappointed by the fact that it didn't really work out for me, but oh well. And then on Wednesday, so yesterday, I didn't really do anything. I watched my shows, watched some Criminal Minds. I finally got to the point where Hodges just left, and it's such a sad time because Morgan hasn't been gone for long either, and it's painful. I do like the fact that Emily is back though. I miss her a lot, but like, at what cost? And then I also watched season 2 of Kevin Can Wait, which is such a good show. I highly recommend everyone to watch it. It just recently got added to Netflix in the US, which is how it came up on my timeline, as a lot of people I follow have been watching it because of that and talking about it and discussing it, and I felt FOMO, so I decided to watch it. It's only 2 seasons. It's really good. Definitely go watch it. It's Kevin Can Fuck Himself. So good. I don't want to talk to you too much about it, but yeah. And then today it's filming and editing day. I already edited 2 videos, and while those were exporting, I started Well That Was Unexpected. Only 18 pages in, because I'm generally just like reading this while things are processing, which doesn't really take that long. But yeah, it's been fun so far. I guess not a whole lot has happened, but I do have some videos to film, and I'm hoping to also edit them today. So while all of that's happening, I will be reading more of this. Hi, good morning. I quite literally have just woken up, But I got a reading update and I got a package, so I thought I would, you know, update you. But yesterday I actually, fun fact, I filmed 4 videos, edited 5. So I was really exhausted when I went to bed last night. But yeah, that's what I did yesterday. And in between like exporting everything, I managed to get up to page 46 in this book, which still isn't a whole lot. So I don't have that much to talk to you about when it comes to like the actual context of this book or my thoughts on it. But there you go, that's what I did. Today I have 3 more videos to film and edit, preferably, because it would make my life easier if I also edited them today, because then I have tomorrow and Sunday off. So great. I do feel like after doing so much yesterday, I feel like 3 videos is actually not that much to deal with. So we'll see how that goes. But package time. The annoying part is that they put my address on the opening side, so it's gonna be quite a lame of an unboxing. This is a vinyl that actually came out a little bit ago, but I never really got around to buying, and then it was on sale yesterday, so I finally got it. By the way, this package, oh, it smells so bad. I want to get this over it so I don't have to smell this thing anymore. I don't know what it is. There's another vinyl from Bookstagram which says what this is. A couple, like last week, which was a new release, and that package also smelled just like absolutely vile, so I don't know what they're doing. Bold up just gave up on me, so yay, everything is awesome. Like this, you can still see me pull without seeing my address. Life is great. No, it's not, because ideally I would be able to like properly show you everything without showing my address, but I can't. So this the vinyl, fun times, boom, that's it. It's Verliefd by Kadri. This one was released for Record Store Day this year, but on colored vinyl I didn't make it in time. And afterwards it was just released on regular black. They have been like releasing the old Kadri albums on vinyl, which has been my joy. Oh, there are such good songs on this. I kind of forgot. I'm like reading the track list, and there's generally just like so many good ones. If you are a Cat3 fan, this is basically the album that they did the Cat3 and the Dennis special for. So you'll probably like recognize most of the songs on here because of that. But let's open the plastic. By the way, the rubbing is a trick I learned from TikTok. And it has saved my life, because you know how hard it is to open up this plastic. Otherwise, it's not fun. So, there you go. Anyway, so this is supposed to be just black vinyl. Okay, this. Because it's not a sticker, and it had this like red around it, so I was like, okay, did they mess up? And then I get a colored vinyl? No, this is definitely black. This is just regular old black vinyl, but you know, I don't care. Would I have preferred it to be colored vinyl because all the other old ones are colored? Yes, I'm a basic bitch, but I just like having the album. That's all that matters. Honestly, when I saw that they were doing this for Record Store Day of colored vinyl, I generally was pissed off, because they haven't previously have released albums on Record Store Day, but like the past 3 years they have. It's always colored vinyl and then they get released afterwards on black. So I knew they were gonna do that with this one as well. And you know what? I don't mind. I have those other vinyls on black vinyl. I don't care. But those weren't these old ones that are all colored vinyl, except this one. So that just kind of bothers me now, that if you wouldn't be able to get this on Record Store Day, your collection is just like incoherent. It sucks, but oh well. I forgot to show you the back, by the way. Can you tell I just woke up? So that's the back. This is gonna join my collection. I'm very happy now because my Cat3 vinyl collection is now complete. But this is now the vinyl to complete my Cat3 collection from everything that's been out so far. Like I said, they are still working on like releasing these old ones, so there's still a lot to go on that much. But from what is released, I have almost everything. There is one album which was like a greatest hits album that was released way before I saw the collected. I kind of pisses me off that I don't have that, even though I don't think I would have added too much to my collection, but you know, just the principle of it all. Hi, it is Monday, and I did not ghost you for 3 days because I didn't want to talk to you. I ghosted you for 3 days because I had nothing to talk to you about. I am sorry. I ran in bed mode for the past 3 days. I generally did nothing. I can't even blame my reading slump because I didn't even do anything else besides watch Criminal Minds. And I can't even blame Criminal Minds because I'm not really liking the period of time I'm in right now. I've not been enjoying like the last season or so. Like I generally haven't been having the best time. I mean, you know, it's still Criminal Minds. There are parts of it that I still absolutely adore. They're like been a rough patch, you know? Anyway, but I thought I'd edit you because it's Monday. And Mondays are for new starts, clean starts. As you can tell, my hair is also clean. I don't know how I keep updating you right after I watch my hair, but that's what keeps happening. But yeah, I am still reading. Well, that was unexpected. I read a little bit more of it this morning, so I'm 116 pages in. I've officially entered part 2, which means the plot has kickstarted, so I can actually talk to you about this. I don't know, I like our two main characters. Are very different, so I'm very curious to see how their relationship is gonna pan out. At this point where I'm at, they still very much are like in the belief that the other person is who their parents were, basically, because their parents have been chatting online as them to set this whole situation up, with neither of them really wanting that to happen, but like that's happened. And about like in the notion of like, you know, who their parents presented them to be rather than who they actually are. And you know, their parents are a different generation, have like a very different view of what makes an ideal partner, so they're not exactly liking each other at this point. But I've seen their personalities pop out and I like them as characters. Like I said, they are pretty different, so I'm very curious to see how they're gonna match up and how the relationship is going to evolve. I do think the whole fake dating aspect of it so far, it kind of like snowballed very quickly into a situation, and I'm like, I don't know if we needed to get this far, but we did. And yeah, I don't know, I'm having a fun time with it so far, so hopefully it will continue on that way. Hi, so I have just reached part 3 in my book. Don't ask me what page that is because these pages don't have numbers on them, but that's the final section of the book. As you can see, not much is left, and I thought I'd give you an update on how things are going, and things are going good. I think there's gonna be 3-star just from the way this is going, because I do think it's cute, the characters are fun, but it's very insta-love, and I feel like the whole book in general is just not gonna be what is gonna stick in my mind for a very long time. And it's pretty like, I don't know, I'm missing some substance to it that makes it like stand out in my brain. So there's that. Hello. Finished the book as predicted, 3-star. I do think the way the third eye conflict went down is a bit realistic. Like just actually the conflict of it all. You know, the resolution was fine, but like the way it all went down, I was just like, that would never happen. Like, honestly, that would honestly never happen like that. So that was a bit of a disappointment. I get it, it was for dramatic effect, but like there was no way that would happen like that in real life. Anyway, there was also like in the last bit of this book a very side romance that gets talked about and had me squealing with excitement. I love those little moments, and I want the book about them instead. Okay, so I originally, when I did the last update on Well That Was Unexpected, thought I was going to keep this vlog going for a couple of more days, but the truth is, before I kind of fell into reading slump, I was doing another reading vlog, kind of like a reading experiment, let's say, and now that I kind of feel like I'm out of the reading slump, I desperately want to continue on with that instead. So I think I'm just going to wrap up this vlog. I read 3 books for it, which I think is pretty decent. I did some lengthy clips, I already know that. So I know I'm not short for content. And I generally do feel like I'm out of my reading slump, and that's eventually what the goal of this video was. And originally it was going to only take place over 1 week. Now it's a week and a day. But I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like a natural stopping point, because yes, I feel like I'm generally out of my reading slump. And I'm very excited to get reading and be reading for the rest of the month, the rest of September. I have some exciting reading plans. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these books, if you read them, as well as what you do to get out of a reading slump. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Good. Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated?